Hey everyone, today we are going to talk about why your interview prep is taking too long, especially for in terms of software engineering. So, whenever we want to switch jobs, we what we first do is we prepare for switching a job, and we especially need to prepare for the technical interview, which is one of the most important interviews of all. Behavioral are important too, but technical has a major weightage of the entire technical process. So what I feel is whenever I ask one of my friends that how long do they take to normally prepare for this type of interviews, and it depends, but the range which they give me is more than 4 to 6 months. Some people I've heard take years, not at least 1 year to just prepare for this type of interviews, and I feel that okay, this is taking too long, and what's the reason behind it? I personally feel that the amount of resources there is outside is way too much. You're basically overloading your brain with so many different resources, so many different types of resources where I feel if you just pick one resource and master it, I believe you will be able to do it in 2 to 3 months. I don't think you don't need to prepare for 6 months. And there will be other videos out there might be saying you need to do a lot of preparation, you need to solve 400 problems, you need to solve 600 problems. You follow my sheet, you'll be done. I personally feel everyone is different, everyone needs different amount of time. It depends on are you studying or are you revising. So I believe if you pick a really good resource and stick to it, you will be able to complete your preparation in a much earlier time. So you might say, like, what's wrong with using many resources? If I get good at them, no harm, right? You have all these resources out there, so much good information, lead code, cracking the coding interview on YouTube, elements of programming interview on Educative, IO, Code Forces, and Code Chef for competitive programming to getting used to that technical part of the interview. But I feel that there's a lot of harm because you dilute your attention basically. You're focused on so many things and you're not focusing on the problems one at a time. And I feel that you should just use one resource and that should be good enough. And especially if you want, you can pick at least two, but don't go more than two resources. That's my advice because look at the left side over here where you pick one resource only. It's pretty simple. This is the hiring bar you get for any company. This is you, and just have one straight line. You complete that single resource and you master it really well. You repeat problems which you were not able to solve before, and you just have one straight line, point A to point B. That's the shortest distance. So you got a good chance of solving, a good chance to meet their hiring bar. That's all the interviews are about. If you can meet their hiring bar, you don't have to be perfect. No one's perfect. Everyone has some sort of weaknesses. But if you play out this really well, if you focus on one resource, the time it takes is much shorter. Whereas if you look at your right, you have you're starting out here and you keep on switching from resource 1 to resource 2 even before completing the resource fully, or I like to say mastery of that particular resource. Like if I pick any kind of random question from CTCI and you have done CTCI, you and I ask any question on that, you'll be able to quickly answer it. I'm not talking about memorization. I'm talking about practice, deliberate practice. But here, this is also one of the reasons why majority of the people they feel that they're not prepared. They use so many resources. They use LeetCode, CDCI, CodeChef, YouTube, elements of programming interviews. They keep on switching from one resource to another. Each resource you might have just complete 10%, 10% each. That's why you're going to feel that you have not completed any of the resources. So it's much better to use one resource or at most two resources and just focus on those and master it really well. I'm focusing on mastery again. That's all for this video. I know it's pretty short, but this is a really important video. I think that this will really, really help you reduce a lot of that stress you have while you have a very important interview coming up. I believe that this will help you save time. Thanks for watching.